Hi there, Natasha here, realtor in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. I'm coming to you today with a market update, and there is a lot going on nationally and here in the Charleston market. So let's jump right into it. What is going on in real estate? What is important? The biggest headline right now for the housing market is the idea that interest rates are not going to come down anytime soon. And that is what is motivating buyers and how they are operating in the market. So, because inflation is not where we want it to be, and because we're seeing increases in energy costs and things like that, it is impacting the interest rates. And the Federal Reserve came out on the 17th and said that they will not be decreasing interest rates, and we may expect them to actually increase rates because, again, inflation's not where we want it to be. So this is slowly rippling through the market, and we're seeing that buyers are much more price conscious than they have been in years past. And gone are the days of the COVID interest rates that we all loved but are no longer the case. So that is certainly impacting affordability in the market. Buyers are not gone. So I want that to be clear. We are still seeing sales happen. People are still moving to our area. Sellers are still putting their homes on the market. But the massive onslaught of demand that we've seen in years past has sort of slowed, and we've seen it begin to normalize. So we're moving out of that seller's market towards a buyer's market. And it's allowing buyers to become much more selective. And we are seeing this trend nationally. We would not want to consider this a crash. What we're seeing is, again, a movement in a more healthy place, to be honest with you. The years where we saw 20 offers on a home and appreciation kind of through the roof, that's not a healthy real estate market. We like to see when buyers and sellers can kind of be more equally matched in terms of what they think fair market value is. And we're still not even there yet. The prices are still very high, and that's what's impacting buyers along with the interest rates. Because we're seeing this more selective nature from buyers, especially in the Charleston area, things like price, condition, and location matter a ton. Buyers are so focused on what their monthly expenses are going to be if they're financing or if they're cash. And they're really conscious about things like flood insurance, home insurance costs, which have gone up in recent years. Age of mechanicals like roof and HVAC are so important. If a buyer is more strapped than in years past to make a purchase happen, they're really focused on if they have to spend $25,000 on a new roof in the next, let's say, 5 years or sooner. So these things are really important. And if you're a seller, it's something to consider if you're thinking about putting your home on the market. Newer mechanicals are really important when we think about total cost to a buyer and what is attractive if they're looking at multiple properties, because there is a lot more inventory on the market and there's a lot more competition if you're looking to sell your home. What we're seeing with new construction is that there are a lot more incentives for buyers now because builders are seeing the crunch more than ever. So we might see them be willing to pay more closing costs. They might be offering rate buy downs and different incentives if you use their in-house lenders. So think about that if you're considering new construction. But also with resale homes, we are seeing that sellers are more negotiable. They may be willing to offer some sort of closing cost concessions. They may be willing to make repairs, things that we've not seen in years past, especially in the COVID era when we had such a housing boom. So we are moving to that place where things are a bit more negotiable if you're looking to buy. And if you're looking to sell, keep that in mind. It is very important to have your ducks in a row in terms of home maintenance and how the home shows, because now more than ever, buyers are really focused on when they see things like paint peeling and carpets rolling up, they really kind of get nervous. I mean, this market is really driven by a lot more anxiety and fear about the what ifs. Oh my gosh, what if the roof leaks, or what if the air conditioning fails and it's 100 degrees in the dead of summer here in Charleston? These are legitimate concerns that people have. So if you are thinking about selling, it is important to talk to your real estate professional about the things that you may want to do before you list your home. And there are things that you may not need or want to do, and that's an important conversation to have with your realtor. In terms of our area, it's taking about 50 days for homes to sell on average. Now, that could be much higher depending on your community. It could be much lower depending on your community. Price is the biggest piece of a marketing strategy in today's market. So even if you're priced really well, I would still expect your home to take a couple months to sell. And that's the message that I'm giving sellers that I'm meeting. We can't expect an overnight sale. It is very rare. It's still happening in some small niche neighborhoods and certain price points, but for the most part, it's taking a couple months for homes to sell. We're seeing much fewer showings. So anticipate that when you go to list your home. Don't expect 20 showings the first week. It's going to be more like a trickle, and it's going to be a little bit more inconsistent. So that is the nature of the market that we're in. That is the nature of the political climate, the global climate, and all of these things are having an impact not only on the housing market, but on the consumer, because they're looking at the stock market, they're looking at the price at the pump, the price at the grocery store, and all of these things are in their mind when they think about total monthly cost and if they're ready to buy a home. So it's important to partner with professionals if you're looking to buy, a strong realtor and lender. And then if you're looking to sell, obviously a real estate professional that can talk to you about the market and help set correct expectations on how long things are taking, what might be an appropriate price range, and how to best prepare your home for the market. So things are still selling. Please don't get me wrong there. Our brokerage is having a banner year. It's important to note that it just takes time, and it takes a very strategic plan with a professional to get things moved. So thank you for watching. If you have questions, send me a message. I appreciate you, and have a great day.